Hello and welcome to the National Aquatic Centre, wherever you may be. Welcome to the National Irish Summer Championships. Swimming has never been better than this. After 2 or 3 years out with COVID, we're back to full arenas, we're back to lots of spectators, supporters, and most of all, swimmers. 850 swimmers taking part this week from over 100 clubs, and about 10 different countries have swimmers here to compete in these championships, although they won't be able to win gold, silver or bronze. They will get commemorative medals though if they do well in competition. We've reached day 4, session 11, and it's the session in the middle of the day when the concentration is on the young swimmers, the 13 and 14 year olds. And this afternoon we're going to have the girls 100 metres freestyle, the boys 400 metres freestyle. The girls 200 butterfly, the boys 200 butterfly, girls and boys 100 backstroke, and then we're going to have the 13 and 14 year olds doing the 4x100 medley relay for girls, and for boys it's going to be the 4x200 freestyle relay. With me I have Nick Quinn, former Olympian, and of course a national champion, especially in the breaststroke. And Nick, isn't it wonderful to be here as we look forward to this second session of this Saturday?
Absolutely. I remember being here as a 13, 14 year old as well, swimming in this same venue, and having that opportunity to race with a good atmosphere, with a good crowd is such a good experience for a young 13 year old, a young 14 year old. And we will have finals for these 13 and 14 year olds later on this evening, so they'll be racing each other. In this morning heats we had a mix of ages across from 15, 16, 17, 18 and into the senior category, whereas this morning it's just 13 and 14 year olds, or this afternoon, sorry, it's just 13 and 14 year olds. So they'll all be racing each other, looking for those top 10 places to get into a final and to race with those older athletes later on this evening.
Yep, it's going to be fast and furious when it starts. You can see already that there's plenty of people here watching, and the judges have just moved into position in this magnificent arena. It really is a wonderful home for Irish swimming, the National Aquatic Centre here in Blanchardstown, with its capacity for 2,000 people can watch here when it's full for the finals.
Yeah, I actually don't know what the capacity is, but it's a big venue. I know they held European Short Course Championships here in 2007 when this pool opened, and the place was hopping for that. We have a really good atmosphere here today, but when this place is full, it's some venue for sure.
Straight away we're going to get into the freestyle heats for girls, and it's going to be the first of 5 heats. And as you can see, there are 8 swimmers in this first heat. Aoife Gardner, who is from Sundayswell, is going to be in lane 1. East Caramansel from Portmarnock in lane 2. Holly McCarthy from Portmarnock in lane 3. Giorgia Tosti from Italy. Really good team of Italian athletes have come over to compete this week, and she's in lane 4. In lane 5 it's Isabella Hume from the Alliance Swimming Club. Kate Marr from Kilkenny is in lane 6. Evelina Frankova from the Czech Republic is in 7, and Leah O'Connor from the Ennis Swimming Club will be in lane 8. Now all the girls in this first heat are 13 and 14 years of age, and they range in times from 1:08 to 1:14. So what should we be looking for now with these younger athletes?
So it's the 100 freestyle here, so they'll be looking to, they're still learning about their sport, they're still learning how they want to swim these races, how they want to get the most out of them. So it's really just having had a conversation with their coaches. They'll be looking to have a high tempo, high rate on this first 50, but not expend too much energy so that they're dead coming home on the second 50.
Leah O'Connor is not swimming in lane 8, so it's 7 getting us away for this 100 freestyle, 2 lengths of the pool, and a really good start in lane number 3 by Holly McCarthy from Portmarnock, the only 14 year old in the race, and also a good start in lane number 1 by Aoife Gardner.
Yeah, strong start from Holly there. She's got a nice breathing pattern. She's breathing to her right, she's breathing every 4, which is really good breathing pattern down this first 50. Turning in a 31.45 with Aoife Gardner in lane 1 turning second in 31.5, so 0.06 behind her, so really nothing between those 2 swimmers at 50 metre mark.
And also out in lane number 6, it's Kate Marr from Kilkenny who's closing the gap, and coming through in lane number 4 now is Giorgia Tosti, the Italian swimmer. Tosti with a really good second 50. 4 in a line. This could be anybody's. We've got McCarthy, we've got Hume, we've got Tosti, and over in lane 7 we've got Frankova. Who gets it? It's Gardner in lane 1 with 34.66 split and a 106.17. 6/10 to spare over Kate Marr. Georgia Tosti from Italy in third place.
Really strong finish there from Aoife Gardner. She really wanted that in the last 10 metres. You could see she picked up her rate, picked up her tempo, and was able to get her hand on the wall first in that first heat of the women's or the girls' 100 freestyle in this afternoon session.
So straight on to heat 2 then, and it's Amy O'Neill from Swan Leisure in 0, Emily Henson from Athlone in 1, her teammate Emma Mooney in 2, Abby Yelverton from Limerick in 3, Marta Rossini from Italy in 4, Orna Higgins from Dolphin in 5, alongside her teammate Lexi Dunn in lane 6, Elise Mann from the Brompton Swimming Club in 7, Nicola Colfer from New Ross in 8, and Sophie McDonald from Portmarnock in lane number 9. They start the next race before the girls from the previous heat have even left the pool. That's how fast things happen here in the NAC. So here we go, the all-important start. 2 lengths of the pool, 100-metre heat.
A good start by lane 6 from Lexi Dunn and her teammate Orna Higgins, both the Dolphin swimmers there in lanes 5 and 6. Look like they're leading in the early leaders of this race.
And also in lane 3, Abby Yelverton from Limerick has made a really good start too. But it's in lane 6, it's Lexi Dunn from Dolphin with a best time of 107.23. She's going to touch first at the turn. 30.23 for her, and an 0.8 of a second advantage over Higgins.
Yeah, and she really looks like into that turn and off the wall, into that first few cycles, she's pulling away from the rest of the field here. She has about over a body length lead, so no one's going to touch her. So a really strong swim from Lexi Dunn in lane 6.
Lexi Dunn, the 13-year-old, coming to the finish with at least 3-4 metres to spare, and in she goes at a time of 103.08. In second place in lane 5, Orna Higgins. Marta Rossini with a really good 33.66 split to bring herself right up into third place, and Nicole Colfer in fourth.
That was a massive second 50 there from Lexi Dunn. That's almost 4 seconds faster than her entry time coming into that 100 freestyle at 32.6 second 50. Really powerful performance from Lexi Dunn, the Dolphin swimmer there. So I'm sure she'll be happy, and we'll see her again this evening.
Heat 3 of 5 here in the 100 metres for girls. It's Holly Wilson from Leander in 0, Emma Marcelli from Italy in 1, Teresa Nimirovska from Coolmine in 2, Emily Hughes from Larne in 3, Carolina Panfili from Italy in 4. For Lurgan, it's Elisa Dempsey in lane 5, Ava Rock from New Ross in 6, Ciara O'Carroll from Bradford in 7, Quinn is in 8, and Juliet Byrne in lane number 9. Really even start
lane 5,
this one.
Elisa Dempsey there. She didn't use as much of her underwaters, but she really popped up quick and got into her swimming quite well. But it is lane 4, Carolina Panfili from Italy, who's taking it down this first 50. Panfili
just slowly easing ahead of the girls on either side of her. In lane number 5, it's Orna Higgins, Alicia Dempsey, and in lane number 3, it's Emily Hughes. And Nemirovska has come up really quickly in lane number 2 to break that little group. This is really tight between lane 3 and 4 here. It looks like Carolina, the Italian swimmer, has the lead by half a body length. She's got a nice long stroke. She's really stretching out at the front, really using that extension part to drive herself home in the last 10 metres. Panfili, the 13-year-old, is going to win this heat. Just to her right in lane number 5, it's Alicia Dempsey in second. Emily Hughes in lane 3 gets third. And Ava Rock with a really good second 50, 33.21. She got up to be fourth in lane 6. Moving swiftly along into heat number 4 of 5. In this one we've got Saoirse Ní Riain from Limerick in 0, Alana Moran from Swan Leisure in 1, Ciara Creaney from Bangor in 2, Purcell from Aer Lingus in 3, Potts from Templeogue in 4, McInerney from Templeogue in 5, Ryan from Athlone in 6, McKee in from Swilly Seals in 7, Kennedy from Banbridge in 8, and Stone from the ESB in 9.
Good start there in lane 8 from Tara Kennedy, the Banbridge swimmer, but it is lane 4, Laura Potts from Temple Oak, who looking really strong on this first 50. Nice stroke, nice extension, powerful rotation through her stroke as well, so she's looking really good here.
101.95 her season's best. She'd like to get it under 101 if she can. Turning in 29.81. That's a really good first split. Alana Moore just outside the 30, as is Holly McInerney, and Jessica Purcell in lane 3 is in 4th place.
Yeah, the two Temple Oak swimmers are looking good here, but it's Laura Potts is definitely taking charge of this race. She looks really strong here. I know our coach Brian Sweeney will be looking at this, looking to see if she can get under her entry time of a 101.95. So 10 metres to go. Let's see what time she does.
Laura Potts brings it home just ahead of her teammate, and in lane 3 it's Jessica Purcell who finished pretty strongly, and Purcell got the second place with a 32.60 split, 0.4 of a second faster than Holly McInerney from Temple Oak in lane number 5, who gets 3rd. Jane Ryan is 4th. Great swim though from Laura Potts.
That's great swimming. I think a lot of those girls were faster than their entry times, which is what you're looking for, and they're all, majority of those girls are all 14-year-old. There's a couple of 13-year-olds, so they're racing each other, trying to get those top 10 spots for a final this evening.
Okay, in this heat, the only swimmer in this group who has broken 1 minute, 59.77, Ava Jones in lane 4 for Portmarnock, but the rest of the field, Nicole Higgins from Cookstown in 0, Eva Han from Ards in 1, Isabel Mooney from Shark Swimming Club in 2, Asha Mahanta, who's a fantastic swimmer, from Sunday's Well in 3. In lane 5, it's Elisa Giacometti from Italy, Georgina Walker from Banbridge in 6, Hannah Cody from St. Felix in 7, Mulholland from Banbridge in 8, and Sophie Jess from Ards in lane 9.
We've seen a lot of Ava Jones already this week in the breaststroke and freestyle events, and she has taken control of this race through the first 25. She looks really strong here to this nice stroke, nice high tempo, and a real strong kick driving her forward.
And she's a good metre or two in front coming to the 50 mark. And at the turn in 28.97, Isabel Mooney also breaking 30 seconds, and Nicole Higgins in 3rd place.
That's a strong first 50 there from Ava Jones, over a second faster than the second place in this first 50. So let's see if she can hold on to this and drive home under that 60 mark. She has an entry time of 59.77, so see if she can get close to or faster than that.
She's pulling away the girl from Sharks in lane 2. Isabel Mooney finishing very strongly, but Ava Jones 1:00.94, just ahead of Hannah Cody in lane 7, Georgina Walker in lane 6, and Isabel Mooney in lane 2 with a really fast second split. But Ava Jones with a fine swim there.
Strong swim, and those girls will be looking to hope they're in the top 10 in the 13 age and the 14 age, so that they get a second swim this evening. They'll be able to go back, look at this video feed, see with their coaches if there's any areas for improvement, and see if they can go faster again tonight.
Okay, change of scene. It's the boys now, 100 metres freestyle, and there's only 4 heats here, and the first heat has just 4 swimmers in it. In lane number 3, it's Daniel English from Trojan. Lane 4, it's Danila Prokhorov, also from Trojan, and then a couple of boys from Limerick, Donica Feerick in lane 5 and Sean Carrick in lane 6.
All of these boys are 13 years, so all the same age category, so they'll be looking to race each other, and such a tactical race, this 400 freestyle, so looking to swim this well, not get too excited over the first 100, 200 metres, so that they have that little bit of energy to have a final kick on the last 100.
All 13-year-olds, and they've swum between 5:08 and 5:17. So they'd be looking to get close to 5 minutes. That would be their target. In lane 4, very slight lad, Danila Prokhorov, just leading them out as we get underway.
We've got 4 green hats with the 2 Trojan swimmers and 2 Limerick swimmers here swimming against each other. So it's always interesting when you're racing your teammates. I know Personally, I had a teammate who was a 200 breaststroker, and we raced each other, we trained with each other, we actually lived together. So you really know everything about each other. You know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and how they like to swim races. So these guys will know where they are in relation to their teammates, and we'll be looking to try and get that one over on them.
Prokhorov with the slight advantage after 50. 8 lengths of the pool, of course, this 400 metres. What are you noticing in the technique of these boys?
So I like that lane 4. Danilo has got a really nice high elbow as he's catching. See, he's got a real high elbow as he comes over the water. It just sets himself up in a really nice position to catch the water. I would like to see, looks like he's coming across his body slightly. I'd like to see him come stretch out in front more as opposed to sliding across. But he's got a nice high elbow, which is a really good starting point in the technique.
He had the best split there on that second length. 1:11 for 100 metres. Not a bad time at all for these boys. Don't forget, they're only 13 years old.
Absolutely. At this stage in the race, they're just looking to find that rhythm, find that pace that's comfortable, but not too comfortable. You don't want to be too easy. You want to be just pushing at the right margin so that you have a little bit at the end, but not too much. So it's about finding that fine balance. And as a 13-year-old, that's something that takes practice. So they'll all be hoping to get that as good as possible, but it's all a learning curve at this age.
Daniel English in lane 3 with a slightly better split there, almost a second faster than Danilo. So he is catching him, and it's a really good race between the two Trojan boys, the two Limerick chaps bringing up the rear. Yeah,
it looks like Daniel's just starting to come into his own a little bit in this race here. It looks a little bit more powerful when he's connecting. Danilo has got that higher tempo, whereas Daniel's just a little bit more connected, a little bit more powerful as he's coming up to this 200-metre mark.
And physically much bigger.
Yes. And that does make a difference.
Is very slight.
That does make a difference in terms of the power. But what you can see is Danilo's turns are much better. Every time he turns, he's getting a little bit of maybe a half a metre advantage over his teammate. But then as they swim down the 50, Daniel is just beginning to catch up on him, and that's when you really see it. I think that's the important thing for these 13, 14-year-olds, is understanding how important skills are, because in swimming, skills really do pay the bills. It's really hard to reach that top level without those really high quality skill execution.
Lovely turns again by the two Trojan boys, and don't rule out Donncha Feerick. We've still got 150 to go.
Yeah, again, Danilo is just pulling away every time they get to those walls. It's that rotation. He's got a good push off, whereas Daniel is probably swimming a little bit faster than him, but it's just that his turns aren't as effective, aren't as powerful, aren't as connected as his Trojan teammates.
Yeah, just a metre in it, and the two Limerick swimmers are catching up. It's a fine race, this 300 metres. 100 to go, and it's Prokhorov who turns again, 39.26, slightly quicker than English on that split, but the fastest was Donncha Feerick with a 38.87.
Yeah, and even his teammate was 38.8 as well. So it looks like the Limerick swimmers have paced this race well, but have they left too much to do in this with 75 metres to go? We'll find out.
Prokhorov has led from the start. Can he keep his advantage to the finish? Just over 50 metres to go. Coming to the final turn. Prokhorov just with the advantage over his teammate English. Feerick in close contention, but he probably won't be able to close that gap. And bringing up the rear is Sean Carrick.
Here comes Donncha Feerick. He's starting to use his legs. I wouldn't rule him out just yet. He looks like he's got a bit of a kick in him as we come down this last 50 metres.
Donncha Feerick closing the gap, probably swimming the last 50 faster than anybody. But Prokhorov just with the advantage, a metre ahead of his teammate Dan English. And Prokhorov, his technique just held together enough, and he had the stamina to hold on. He gets the win against his teammate Dan English. Donncha Feerick in third. Only a couple of seconds really between the three of them.
Not much between them at all, and that's all big swims compared to their entry times. That's 5:01 versus a 5:08, 5:10, 5:13 and 5:03 and 5:04. So that's in and around that 7-second improvement for those three guys, which is all you can ask for at this kind of a heat in a middle evening or in a afternoon session, and they'll have an opportunity maybe this evening to see if they go faster if they're in the top 10.
The sun coming through the glass roof here in the Aquatic Centre, brightening this scene as we head into heat 2 of 4. Rory Stanton from Trojan in lane 0, Donica Lean from Dolphin in lane 1, Scott Duda from Longford in lane 2, Oscar Black from Lurgan in lane 3, Dylan Brady from Drogheda in lane 4, Dara Finlayson from Glenalbin in lane 5, Ben Coleman from Dolphin in lane 6, Cameron Jackson from Coolmine in lane 7, Zine Talal from Hamilton Dubai in lane 8, and Killian Cranny from Belfast, Swim Belfast in lane 9. A really good start here in lane number 1.
Yeah,
Rory Staunton.
Brilliant start, and Donica Leanne turning there in first in 29.65, but technically he looks really good again. We talked about that high elbow. He's got that really nice high elbow catch, connecting out in front and being quite powerful as he's swimming. But in lane 5 we also have Dara Finlayson from Glenalbin. He's not letting Donica get away too much in this first 100 metres.
Powerful start from Donica Lean from Dolphin, who has a best time of 5:02.79. 4 of these swimmers have broken 5 minutes this year. Oscar Black, Dylan Brady, Dara Finlayson and Ben Coleman in lanes 3, 4, 5 and 6.
Cameron Jackson there in lane 7 having the fastest split there, and only guy to be sub 35 in the 34 point, but it is Donica Leanne, the Dolphin swimmer, in lane 1. He looks like his rate has slipped down a little bit, so he's found his tempo, found his rhythm where he wants to sit for this middle section of this race.
Lanes 5 and 4 in hot pursuit. That's Dara Finlayson and Dylan Brady. Turning first in lane 1, Donica Lean with a 36.45 split. Finlayson in second in lane 5, Brady third in lane 4, and Scott Duda in 4th place.
Yeah, Donica Leanne is breathing 2 to each side and then changes, so it's 2, 2, 3. That's the way he's breathing, which is an interesting pattern, but it means he's getting bilateral breathing every 2 strokes, which is quite an interesting, but it means he's able to see across the pool from lane 1 where he is in relation to the other swimmers, but he just needs to focus on his race and keep executing, as he's doing really well here.
The gap from Lean to Brady closed there with a 36.78 split for the boy in second place.
Yeah.
And Dara Finlayson also was quicker on that leg.
Yeah, the 2 guys in lane 4 and 5 are closing that gap every 50 to Donica Leanne, so it'll be interesting to see if he can hold off now with 175 metres left of this 400 freestyle.
Could be a good race. Certainly looks like Dylan Brady has good style, the Drogheda Swim Club 13-year-old, whose best time is 4:56.28. It's Lean still in front, but beaten by a half a second on the last split by Dylan Brady, who's catching him for sure.
Yeah, I do really like Lean's technique there. He's also taking 2 strokes off the wall before he breathes, which really just means he's carrying that extra momentum. When you come off the walls and you get a good push off, you're carrying more momentum, so he's not breathing until he's taken 2 strokes to carry that into a stroke, which is definitely really helpful for him.
It's almost neck and neck with 100 metres to go. Lean in lane 1, Brady in lane 4. The gap fractional, half a second.
Yeah, and they're both swimming quite equal splits through that 50, both 37 highs. So this could be a really close race now with 75 metres to go.
Could all come down to who has the stamina, who's put in all those hard miles to get to this level, to get to this race.
Absolutely. Who can hold on to their technique the best under pressure when they're in fatigue mode with 50 metres to go. So who has that little bit of kick, who has that training behind them that they can hold on to their technique and get their hand to the wall first.
Donica Lean pulled out half a second there, and he looks good for the win here. Dylan Brady in second. Scott Duda has moved up to third against the tiring Finlayson.
Yeah, Donica looks great here. He's gone to a much higher tempo. He had settled into it during that middle section of the race, but he's picked it up again. His kick is going strong at the end, so it looks like he's going to get it. But there is definitely a kick coming from Dylan Brady. He's fighting back hard here with 10 to go.
Well, it's really close, but it looks like Donica Lean from Dolphin Swimming Club is going to get it. Will he get under 5 minutes? 4:45.48. Donica Lean in lane 1 takes it. 34.76 final split. Brady was only a couple of hundredths slower. He comes second in lane 4. Ben Coleman in third place with a really good 34.37 split, and Scott Duda down to 4th. So fine performance, a lot of improvement, great race.
Yeah, really impressed there with Donica Lean's skills. He was really consistent off the walls, taking 2 strokes before he was breathing, taking 1 or 2 fly kicks, and maintained the integrity of his stroke, that high elbow right through that 400. Really impressed with that. He even got his head down for the last 5 metres, so really strong swimming from the Dolphin man in lane 1.
Here's heat 3 out of the 4. Conor Carroll from Kilkenny Swimming Club in lane 0. Daniel Egan from Aer Lingus in 1. Quaylen Turner from Aer Lingus in 2. George Pearson in lane 3. Leopold Fornials from the Apex Sports Academy in lane 4. Andrew Mullen from Temple Ogue in 5. Hubert Potovny from Ealing Swimming Club in 6. Matthew Rice from Banbridge in 7. Matthias Pickett from Ards in 8. And John Rada from Lurgan in lane 9.
The Apex swimmer in lane 4, Leopold, is absolutely flying down this first 50. Really high rate. He looks like he could be swimming a 100 freestyle, not a 400 freestyle. So expect to see him settle into his tempo on this second or maybe even the third 50 as we go through this 400. But he's going to turn in first here at 50. What is the time?
Neck and neck, Mullen and Fornials. In fact, it was Mullen who got the touch by 900ths, and George Pearson in 3rd in lane 3 with Quaylen Turner in lane 2 in 4th.
Yeah. Mullen's technique here, comparing the two, he's much more relaxed, he's much more efficient, and it's going to stand to him as we go through this 400 compared to Fornials in lane 4, who has that higher tempo and definitely looks to be working harder as we approach the 100 metre mark.
Andrew Mullen with a wonderful second length. Does the 100 in 101.94, 32.44. That's the fastest split we've seen so far. Fornials lost nearly 2 seconds on him there. George Pearson in 3rd and Matthew Rice up to 4th.
Yeah, Temple Oak swimmer there, Andrew Mullen, is looking really efficient now as he's settled into his rhythm. He's settled into this middle section of the 400 freestyle. Really long, controlled, looks easy, but I know he's definitely working hard as well, but he looks in control of this race right now.
Looks a really mature swimmer. He's only 14 years old, don't forget. His best time before today was 4:36.28, which is a couple of seconds slower than Fornials in lane 4.
Yeah, I think
big improvement coming here, I think.
I was going to say he's definitely going to be looking to go a lot faster than that 4:36 with the way he's approached this first 200 metres, and it doesn't look like he's overextended himself in terms of rating it too much or forcing it. He just looks in control, relaxed, so this is a really strong performance through 200 metres.
Coming to the halfway mark of this 400 metres heat 3 of 4, and it's the Temple Oak boy Andrew Mullen who turns in 2:10.83, split of 34.64, which is a second and a half quicker than Fornials in second place. Great split from Matthew Rice though. Needed a 35 for that 4th length.
Yeah. It's clear that Andrew Mullen is the clear leader with Fornials in second, but he's been chased quite hard now in lane 7 by Matthew Rice from Banbridge. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next 150 metres. Can anyone catch Fornials, or has he done enough over the first 200? But the clear leader is Andrew Mullen from Temple Oak. He's turning in 2:46.04 at 35.21. He's still a second faster split than both Matthew Rice and Leopold Fornials. So he's in real control of this race right now.
Yeah, coming to the end of the 3rd 100. Lovely, elegant stroke. Seems so effortless. That's the key.
You always know, you can see a good swimmer when it looks easy, but they're still swimming fast. That's a sign of a really, really top-class swimmer right there.
34.81, that's even quicker. Under 35 for that last length.
He's going to be well under his entry time of 2:36 if he keeps this pace up, especially if he has a little bit of a kick to go for the last 50. But he's technically still looking really good. Nice high elbow, still being efficient, not forcing it, just trusting in the technique that he's worked on with his coaches in Templeogue, trusting the training, and really, really putting on a show in this 400 freestyle heat.
Final turn then for Andrew Mullen from Templeogue, heading to a heat win at least. Furnial's turning now, a full 9 seconds behind, and a good race for third place in lanes 6 and 7 between Pilotoni and Rice. But no doubt about the class swimmer in this field, Andrew Mullen from Templeogue. Elegant right to the end, kept his shape, kept his style, and he's going to have his best time of the year, 4:28.05, 8 seconds faster than his previous best. That's a fine swim by the lad from Templeogue.
And you have to think with a time like that, he'll be in the top 10 of the 14-year-olds and we'll be in a final tonight and see if he can go even faster.
Fornials gets second. It was Matthew Rice who held on for third with a narrow margin over Hubert Pizzoloni.
Yeah, strong swimming there. Fornials, as I said, he went out quite hard on that first 100 metres. So maybe that's something that he'll look at if he gets a second swim. Maybe I can be a little bit more controlled, a little bit more relaxed, conserve a bit more energy and see if he can get closer to his entry time if he gets a second swim. But we'll have to wait and see for this final heat if he is in the top 10 of his age.
So the final heat of these 13 and 14-year-olds, and it's Vincent Kopczynski from Sundayswell in lane 0. Wilder Daffy from Brompton in lane 1. Kjell Loudon from Trojan in 2, Ashley Weaver from Longford in 3, Ian Middleton from Glenalbin in 4, Paddy Cudahy from Kilkenny in 5, Leon Biss from Swim Belfast in 6, Phelim Hanley from Blackrock in 7, Conor Corbett from Wexford in 8, and Killian Murphy from Templeogue in lane 9.
Again, look, lane 4, Ian Middleton looks like he's really working hard down this first 50. You don't want to be working too hard on the first 50 of a 400. You can't win a 400 in the first 50 metres, but you can lose it. So he'll be looking to try and settle into his tempo after this first 50, but he's turning first in a 29.00.
29.0, just under a second ahead of Ashley Weaver in lane 3, with Kopczynski in lane 0 in third place. It's amazing the different style. His arm action is quite uneven in a way.
Yeah, you see that sometimes with distance swimmers. I know Greg Paltineri is he's Italian, he's one of the best distance swimmers in the world. He swims very much like that. He has quite a lopey stroke, but you have to try and find what works best for you within the realms of what's technically good swimming.
32.57 on the split though, and a 101.57. That's fast swimming at this age level.
Yeah, it is fast swimming. I would be a little bit worried that he's gone out too hard here and he might pay for it as we get to the later stages of this 400 race, but only time will tell with that. Lane 3 from Longford, Ashley Weaver is hanging in there beside him and he's in second place, which is looks like there's a good battle for the bronze in this heat as well between lane 2 in Trojan, Loudon, and lane 5, Paddy Cudahy from Kilkenny.
Slightly slower that time, and it was Weaver with the fastest split with 34.64, just catching a little bit.
Yeah, his tempo, Middleton's tempo in lane 4 has slowed down a lot from that first 100, which is good. He's just settling into his rhythm right now, but we'll see if he has that kick on the last 100 based on how hard he went out at the start of this race.
Ashley Weaver looking nice and smooth in second place, only about 4 metres down as they take the turn at the halfway mark. 35.36 for Middleton on that last length, 36.99 for Weaver. So Middleton might look a little ungainly, but he's powerful through the water and he's into the second half of the race now.
Absolutely, it looks like he really made a big drive on that 50. He's pulling away from the field, extending that out to almost 5 metres at this stage, but Ashley Weaver is sticking in there. He's hanging on to him and he's got a nice technique, so he could have a little bit of a kick as we get to the latter stages of this race.
Coming to the wall at the end of the fifth length of 8. And Middleton turns in a 35.41. Ashley Weaver marginally slower. Good length there from Paddy Cudahy in third place.
Yeah, the top 4 swimmers are all swimming at a similar pace right there, all 35 mids. So Ian Middleton has the lead. It looks unlikely that anyone will catch him with 115 meters to go in this race, but it looks like it's a strong swim from him. He led from the very start, and with 100 meters to go, it doesn't look like anyone's going to catch him.
Turns at 300 meters at 3:23.19. Split that time, drifting out close to 36, but still quicker than Weaver. Paddy Cudahy in lane 5 is in third place.
Looks like Paddy Cudahy had the fastest split there, so he's charging hard to see if he can get his hand on the wall ahead of Ashley Weaver, the Longford swimmer. But it is Middleton who has taken this race out from the very start, and no one's going to catch him at this stage. He does have that quite lopey stroke, but it is working well for him, and he's clearly powerful in the water and is connecting with each of his catches.
Final turn at 3:57.72, 34:53. He increased his tempo there, and with 40 meters to go, he's certainly going to win this race, no question. In lane 3 in second place is Ashley Weaver from Longford.
Yeah, the Glenalbin swimmer is definitely charging home now. He's gone to his legs, his rate has picked up, and he's driving home for the finish. His entry time is 4:32, so we'll see. It looks like he's going to be well under that, which will be a strong swim in this afternoon session.
4:30.5 for Ian Middleton of Glenalbin. Couple of seconds quicker. And in second place, it's Ashley Weaver with a 34:50. Cudahy was the fastest finisher, though. In fact, Phelim Hanley in lane 7 did a 33 on the final 50. He should have started his race a little bit sooner. He could have got into the top 3, but fine race from Middleton. Different style, but very effective.
Yeah, this is what you need when you're doing a 400 freestyle. You look at the splits and you see that there's such a big drop on that last 50, and you do just wonder, could I have went a little bit early? Could I have started to push at 75 meters as opposed to pushing at 50 meters? So they're the kind of things, if you get a second swim, you can go, right, I swam the race really well, but I can maybe just go to my legs at 75 meters as opposed to 50 and see if that brings down the time.
Okay, coming up the 200 butterfly for girls. And in this first heat, we've got Ellen Manson from Dolphin in lane number 1, Hannah Poynton from Trojan in lane 2, Eva Hand from Ards in lane 3, Emily Edgar from Lisburn City in lane 4, Georgina Walker from Banbridge in lane 5, Jordan Winterback from the Titan Swimming Club in lane 6, and Emer Todd from Portadown in lane 7. A lot of northern swimmers in this one.
Yeah, for sure.
They seem to like the butterfly up there. We saw that earlier today. A lot of northern swimmers are very good at butterfly.
Yeah, they're strong clubs. You've got a lot of big, traditionally strong clubs up north, and you can really see that right through the ages. They've got swimmers at all ages. They've got swimmers at 13, 14, 15, 16, and then all the way up into the senior categories. So really strong clubs here. And the 200 fly, as we saw in that morning session, it's such a tactical race that you can't afford to go out too hard, because otherwise you'll be in a world of pain in the last 50.
There's nobody in lane 6, so Jordan Winterbeck from Titans hasn't started.
Yeah, and it looks like Poynton from Trojan in lane 2 started off well, but it actually looks like lane 4 Edgar from Lisburn is going to touch first at 50 meters here, and it's not. It's Hannah Poynton, 34.85, marginally ahead of Emily Edgar in a 35.25 through that first 50.
Hand in third, Walker in fourth. 4 lengths of the pool this one, so they're next time they turn it'll be the halfway mark, and there's 4 or 5 of them still very much in this race.
Yeah, we could definitely see a change of leader as we go to 100 and 150, because
Ava Hand in lane 3 is caught up quite a bit there in that second length, but still out in front is the girl in lane 4, Emily Edgar, the 14-year-old from Lisburn.
Got
by a fraction, half a second, less than half a second.
Emily Edgar's got the fastest split there by a second, 41.5 versus the 42.5. So she's just pushing hard through this middle section of the race. But Hannah Poynton from Trojan is not going away. She's hanging in there. She's breathing 2 up, 2 down, which is an interesting, good fly technique. Because so important to get the oxygen, especially in a 200 fly. In a 100 fly, often you'll see the world-class athletes breathing a little bit less, staying flatter in the water, whereas in the 200 fly, you have that more undulation motion, trying to get that oxygen and make the stroke as easy as possible.
1/10 of a second separating them there at the turn, and it's Poynton who's gone in the lead in lane 2, ahead of Emily Edgar in lane 4. Ava Hand a little bit further back in third place.
Yeah, really tight between these two girls. Now it's going to be who has got that little bit of energy to have a bit of a kick on the last 50. With 25 to go, it looks like it is Emily Edgar, the Lisburn swimmer, has pulled ahead. She's maybe a body length ahead at this stage, so looks like she's going to get her hands on the wall first here.
Ava Hand put in, or Hannah Poynton rather, put in such an effort to catch her. I think she didn't have anything left for the final 50, and it's a fine swim by Emily Edgar from Lisburn City. She takes the heat honours in 2:40.97. And in second place, it's Hannah Poynton in lane 2. Third to Georgina Walker in lane 5.
That's a really strong last bit there from Emily Edgar, 40.99 versus Hannah Poynton's 45.07. That's a 4-second difference in that last 50 alone. So that's how important, that just shows how important getting that pacing right is. If you go too hard, that last 50 can be a whole world of pain. So good strong swimming there from Emily Edgar from the Lisburn City Swimming Club.
But tremendous technique being shown by these teenagers. And now we're on to heat number 2 of the 200 butterfly. In lane 1, it's Chloe Dorney from Swan Leisure. In lane 2, it's Michaela Malkova from the Czech Republic. Lane 3, Katie O'Connor from Laois Marlins. Lane 4 is Claire Custer from Sunday's Well. Lane 5, Lucy O'Brien from Limerick. Sarah Keane from Portmarnock in lane 6. And Sinead McQuillan of Lisburn City in lane number 7.
And it does look like after 25 metres that Claire Custer is already the early leader. She's pulling away, she's got quite a high tempo, but she looks powerful and connected in the water, so she could be the one to watch in this second heat of the girls 200 metres butterfly.
Well, we've seen Claire Custer several times this week, and she's looked really good in every single race she's been in.
Yeah.
Really powerful, big upper body strength, and absolutely made for this stroke.
Yes, absolutely. Fly is such a shoulder-dominated stroke that you need to be strong to be able to get through this. You also need to be, it's no good being strong without being technically good. And Claire Custer looks really good here. She looks strong, as you said, but she's also connecting in the right places. Got a nice hip drive and is looking really strong as we approach the 100-metre mark.
Lucy O'Brien from Limerick in second place in lane 5 has really kept her honest. Custer's having to push to keep that 2-3 metre advantage. She turns in 1:11.14 with a split of 37.77. O'Brien 39.34. Big margin there for Custer.
That is a strong split. A 37.7 is a strong split for Claire Custer there on that second 50. If she can hold in that 37-38 range, she'll have a really, really strong performance here. Her entry time is a 2:36.08, so she can stay in around that ballpark. She should swim a really fast time here in these heats of this women's 200 butterfly.
Lucy O'Brien in lane 5. She's about 3 seconds slower than Custer in her entry time, and these two are miles ahead of the rest, it has to be said.
38.9 split there from Claire, so she dropped off from that 37.7, but still a really solid split. She can hold on or have a little bit of a kick here, we're going to see a good split or a good time.
Beautiful balance in her swim. Everything is very controlled, and she's racing away with 25 metres to go. Lucy O'Brien trying to keep in touch, but she's just watching Custer disappear into the distance.
Yeah, strong swimming from Custer there. Tying up a little bit as we come to this last 50. Getting less power, less connection from her feet, from her kick, from her hips, but still a strong split.
6 seconds faster than her entry time, 2:30.26. Lucy O'Brien with a fine swim. So many good swimmers from Limerick coming to this gala, and she finishes in a 2:40.11 in second place. In third, out in lane 6, is Sarah Keane Sarah Keane, who swims for Portmarnock.
Yeah, so Claire Custer will be back again for a final after that swim, but if you look at her splits there, she went 37, 38, 40 point on each of those second, third and fourth 50s, so you really want to try and keep them as close together, so maybe she could conserve a little bit of energy on that second 50 and would come home faster than that 40 point in a second swim later this evening.
We're switching to the boys 200 butterfly now, and we've only got 2 heats in this. And in the first heat, we've got Alex Martin from Coolmine in lane 2, Ben Wilson from Ards in lane 3, Ben Bickerstaff from Lisburn City in lane 4, Phelim Hanley from Blackrock in lane 5, Oisin McGlue from Bluefin in lane 6, and in lane number 7, Maciej Milaszewicz from Nina, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Milaszewicz, Polish name, I think.
Nina Neptune Swimming Club, so got an entry time of 3:06, so he'll be looking to go faster than that in this first heat of the boys 200 metres butterfly.
Bickerstaff with a 2:29.01. He's the quickest in lane 4. 4 lengths of the pool here in the 200 metres butterfly for boys.
Really good underwater work there from lane 3 and lane 4. The Lisburn swimmer and the Ards swimmer using the full 15 metres off that dive, which in a 200 fly like this, you try and conserve the energy wherever you can. So if you can go 15 metres off the dive and all the turns, it's less swimming, less fatigue on your shoulders. So really good start from both those boys.
Turns in 31 second. Ben Bickerstaff in lane 4. Oisin McGlue in lane 6 is second. Ben Wilson in third place. Phelim Hanley also in close contention in fourth place.
Yeah, it's Ben Bickerstaff, the Lisburn swimmer, has taken control of this race now as they've just gone through 75 metres.
Bickerstaff on the entry times the second quickest at this category of 200 butterfly for boys, so he's pretty certain to be in the final and should have a big say in where the medals go. Coming to the halfway mark in 109.16, split time of 38.16.
Yeah, swimming well. I'd like to see him tying up around those walls. He could be a little bit quicker, a little bit more deliberate with getting around that rotation, but he's swimming really well here to this third 50.
Oisin McGlue from Bluefin Swimming Club in lane 6 is in second place, and in lane 3 it's Ben Wilson from Ards who's just pushing up into third. But yeah, Bickerstaff stretching away.
It looks like it's a really good race here for this silver medal position. It's not silver medal, but second position in this heat. But it is Bickerstaff from Lisburn who's the clear leader. 39.75 third 50 split for a 148.91. He's 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field at this point, but there's a real battle going on for second in this heat between lanes 2, 5 and 6.
Well, we know the Bickerstaff is going to win this heat, but who's going to get second place? Coming through in lane number 5 is Phelim Hanley from Blackrock with a very fast finish to just edge ahead of Ben Wilson from Ards in lane 3, and in lane 6 Oisin McGlue.
It does look like Phelim Hanley's going to get that second place, but
2:25.94, 37 final split, really good finish. 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds better than his best. In second it's Phelim Hanley in lane 5 with a really good sub 40 last split, and Ben Wilson gets third place. Oisin McGlue slowing down as this race comes to a conclusion.
Yeah, really strong performance. Led from the off, Ben Bickerstaff did, and he really was in control of that race the whole way through. He had a nice connection through his stroke. As I said, I would like to see him tighten up around the walls. There's definitely more time to be had in the finals if he gets a little bit quicker around the rotation, a little bit more deliberate with the getting around those walls, using his underwaters and using that momentum to pop into his first few strokes. But really strong performance, 4 seconds faster than his entry time. Into the final, you can't ask for much more than that.
Okay, here comes heat number 2, the final heat of the boys 200 metres butterfly. And in lane 1 it's Matthew Walsh from Castlebar, Jason Gia in lane 2 for Tala, Zayn Salah from Hamilton, Dubai in lane 3, Eduardo Antonelli from Italy in lane 4, Killian Hall from Lisburn City in lane 5, Conor Corbett from Wexford in 6, and Liam O'Driscoll from Sundyswell in lane 7. So a couple of foreign swimmers in this, in lanes 3 and 4.
Good underwaters there in lane 3. The Hamilton Aquatics guest swimmer really used that 15 metres and popped up well into the first few cycles of his stroke. He looks powerful down this first 50, and he is the leader as we go through 35 metres.
Hard to believe all these lads are only 13 and 14 years old, particularly the two front runners. They look so much more mature than that. And it's Antonelli who turned first, with just 1500ths to spare over Zayn Salah. Killian Hall in third place in lane 5. Gia in fourth.
Yeah, these two guys, I look like they're going to go head to head in this race, and it could be a really exciting one. As they come through 75 metres here, Antonelli from Italy has just got the lead over Salah from Hamilton Aquatics, and then Killian Hall from Lisburn in that third position.
Eduardo Antonelli, best time of 2:26.11. He's going to turn in 1:08.87. Split time of 37.38 was about 6/10 faster than Zayn Salah in second place.
Looks like Salah's picking up his rate. I was watching as they're coming through that second 50 that Salah had a lower tempo, a lower rate than Antonelli, but he really has picked it up in this third 50. Salah has really picked it up, and he's now motoring. He's almost got a body length ahead of Antonelli. So
Antonelli beginning to lose his form a little.
Yeah,
the arms aren't quite getting over.
Really, really strong third 50 here from
and
Salah.
Salah is.
Be interesting to look at what his split time is here.
Big gap here, 38.41 against 40.80, 2.4 seconds.
In 150 alone is a big, big difference. So he's really making the move in that third 50 now. So let's see if he can keep pushing on now as we approach 25 metres to go.
Powerful technique from the man in lane 3, Zayn Salah, the 13-year-old from Dubai, who swims with the Hamilton Aquatics Dubai club. Best time of 2:31.13 coming into this. He'll definitely beat that. Antonelli has kept his form, but he couldn't close the gap. And it's Salah who finishes with a 39.28 and 2:27.28. In second place is Antonelli in lane 4. And the best of the Irish swimmers finishing now, Killian Hall in lane number 5, the Lisburn City swimmer.
And like that is just an example of a really, really well split race by Salah there. He was quite controlled through that first 100 metres, but as soon as he came off that second turn, he really picked up his rate, picked up his tempo and moved through the field, and there was no touching him from after that. So really strong performance there for the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer.
Okay, that's the butterfly done for this session. Now we're going to move into the backstroke, so we'll have a little bit of a break as they set up the pool for the backstroke preliminaries in the 100 metres for girls. So just a little gap here.
We can see the officials are putting in those wedges. We mentioned this morning that the wedges are really, really helpful for these backstroke swimmers. In the past, we used to see swimmers would start up in the blocks, the referee would say take your marks, and then as they'd go, because there's no wedge, they would slip down and be 2, 3, 4 metres behind the rest of the field. So that wedge just gives them that little bit extra security on the start of the back roll, on the back roll start. But it is important for the swimmers, and especially the senior swimmers, you'll see it a lot of the major championships, that they'll all test the wedges before they actually start, because sometimes they're not in place properly, they're not fully connected, and they can slip off as well. So I've been at competitions where the senior backrollers don't mess around. If the backroll wedge isn't set up properly, they'll hold up the race for 5 minutes and be like, no, we need to sort this out. So it's really important to get that wedge set up properly, because it really can give you an advantage and give you that extra stability so that you get the most amount of momentum into those underwater kicks, which are so important in a backroll race.
And especially in a 100 metres backstroke.
Absolutely.
Okay, they're about to enter the pool, so let's have a look at the swimmers in heat number 1. Emma Crowley from Fermoy in lane 0. Teresa Nimirovska from Coolmine in lane 1. Sadie Llewellyn from Hamilton Dubai in lane 2. Rebecca Middleton from Glenalbyn in lane 3. Tara Kennedy of Banbridge in lane 4. Abigail Logan from Dolphin in lane 5. Erin Fitzpatrick from Lisburn City in 6. Georgia Tosti from Italy in 7. And Kira Mooney from the Tuam swim team in lane number 8. And away they go.
Yeah, we've no swimmer in lane 5. Tara Kennedy from Banbridge is in there, but it looks like it's... No, sorry, it's Abigail Logan from Dolphins who's not there, but it's Tara Kennedy from Banbridge who looks like she's leading through 35 metres here.
And in lane number 2, a very good start from Teresa Nimirovska from Coolmine. She might just get the touch first, I think, at the end of this first 50.
Yes, She is. She's
Llewellyn, Sadie Llewellyn in lane 2, Nemirovska in lane 1. I got them mixed up, but and lane 0 is in 3rd place. So all the action happening between lanes 0 and 4.
Yeah, the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer's got that high tempo. You look across the field, she's definitely got the highest rate looking across here, and she's pulling away with 20 metres to go. She looks really strong and really good. Look at how powerful her kick is. You see that splash off her feet compared to the rest of the field. She's really using that kick to drive her forward into this last 10 metres.
So Sadie Nemirovska, or Sadie Llewellyn rather, gets there in 1:13.72. Second is Tara Kennedy in lane 4, who had a good final split to get ahead of Nemirovska and Middleton into 2nd place. Nemirovska coming in 3rd.
The fastest entry time there was 1:17, and nearly all of the girls were faster than that. So they've nearly all improved on their entry times. So that's really strong swimming across the board from those girls in the first heat of this girls' 13 and 14-year-old 100 backstroke.
And now we move on to heat 2 of this women's 100 metres backstroke, and it's Eva Deddy from Riversdale Otters in lane 0, Caoimhe Walsh from Ballina Dolphins in lane 1, Siofra Glynn from Glenalbin in lane 2, Lara Stone from ESB in 3, Mia Mulholland from Banbridge in 4, Leah Jacobs from Lurgan in lane 5, Holly McInerney from Templeogue in lane 6, Ashley Redden from Celtic Waves in lane 7, Lexi Dunn, who we saw earlier, from Dolphin in lane 8, and Ciara Creaney from Bangor in lane 9. And these girls with entry times of between 1:11 and 1:17.
So we have, again, this is what I mentioned, lane 8 is not comfortable with her wedge, so she's getting that sorted. The officials are just helping her get that sorted right now. So it's really important for these girls. I know they're very young, they're 13 and 14 years old, but to be able to say, look, my wedge isn't right, can we get this sorted? Because this happens right the way up to the elite level.
I noticed some of them, now that they're in their starting blocks, yes, some of them start with a different hand position. The girl in lane number 5 has her 2 hands together on the lower rung, while most of the others are holding higher.
Yeah, so you see the way the blocks are, you've got different options, whether you hold it at the side, at the top, or at the bottom. So it's just a personal preference there, which way you'll see the different athletes holding the blocks.
Lane 7 and lane 2 with the best starts here. It's Ashley Redden, Celtic Waves, and Siofra Glynn in lane 2.
Looks like it's Siofra Glynn in lane 2, but it is quite tight across the field here.
Very close indeed. Only a couple of swimmers are slipping back, and with 100 metres it's not going to be much in it. There you see it, under 35 seconds the first 5 swimmers. There's only a second separating the first 5.
Yes, who's going to have that little bit of energy saved? Who can maybe negative split this 100 back might get the win here. Looks like lane 5.
Leah Jacobs from Lurgan just stretching out now to take a very small lead ahead of the girl in lane 4. That's Mia Mulholland from Banbridge. Mulholland with the fastest time coming into the race, and she seems to be finishing the stronger, and it looks like Mulholland might just do it. Really good sprint finish from her, and yes, Mulholland gets it. 36.73 to 37.27 on the split, just easing Leah Jacobs down into 2nd place, Holly McInerney in 3rd, and Lexi Dunn in 4th. Yeah,
that was a really tight race. The lead seemed to change hands regularly in that race, from lane 2 to lane 5 to lane 4, but it is the swimmer from Banbridge, Mia Mulholland, who got her hand on the wall first there. So good swimming by her, and she'll be looking to see if she can be in the top 10 for the final later this evening.
So here's heat number 3, Maeve Burke from Clare Morris in lane 0, Orna Higgins from Dolphin in lane 1, Carrie Harrington from Sunday as well in lane 2, Laura Potts from Templeogue, we saw her swimming earlier really well in lane 3, Emily O'Dwyer, the fastest in this heat, from Glenalbin in lane 4, Panfili from Italy in lane 5, Shauna Murphy from Dolphin in lane 6, Hannah Cody from St. Felix in lane 7, Chloe Dawney from Swan Leisure in lane 8, and Aisling Ramsey from the Trojan Swimming Club in lane 9. And Emily O'Dwyer from Glenalbin with a 1:10.69. She's the quickest with the entry time.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a 1.5 second advantage on paper heading into this heat 3 of the girls 13 to 1400 back, but it's all to play for.
Flying back into the pool who's going to get the best start. First into her stroke in lane number 5 is Carolina Panfili. But it's a very, very close start. 5 or 6 girls in a line.
It is quite tight. Looks like Emily O'Dwyer might just be finding her rhythm now and is pulling to the lead of this, the front of this race, but it's tight across the board for sure.
Emily O'Dwyer in lane number 4, the Glenalban swimmer, just pulling away from the Italian as she makes the turn in 33.87, a gap of 0.6 of a second to Orna Higgins in lane 1 with Shauna Murphy in lane 6, Panfili falling back to 4th. So just 30 metres to go.
It is the swimmer in lane 4 from Glenalban, Emily O'Dwyer, who is leading well through this race. She's got a nice high tempo.
And in lane number 1, a great swim from Orna Higgins from Dolphin, who's just marginally got ahead of the Italian in lane 5. But it's going to be Emily O'Dwyer who's going to win this one. Glenalban's finest hits the wall now in 1:10.19. Fine split, 36.32. Panfili just came back to get second with a 36.67 split, slightly faster than Orna Higgins in lane 1, and Shauna Murphy is 4th.
Yeah, good race there. Carolina Panfili did well to get her hand on the wall there. 0.06 between Panfilini and Orna Higgins in 3rd place from Dolphin Swimming Club. So good races, but Emily O'Dwyer from Glenalban, 1:10.19. That's the fastest time we've seen in these middle session this afternoon. So one more heat of the girls, 13 and 14, 100 back row to go.
I tell you what, heat is the operative word. It is warm in here.
It is very warm in here.
I don't think people watching at home appreciate how hot it is at a swimming gala. Our advice to anybody coming: wear shorts, wear t-shirts. Imagine yourself in the Costa Brava, lying out on the beach, sunning yourself, because you don't need much in the way of clothing when you come to a swimming gala, that's for sure.
For sure not. There warm, humid environments, and this pool in NSC is a great facility, but in the summer the sun is beating down and it really does heat up.
So here we go, the final heat of these girls 100 metre backstrokes, and it's Caroline Smith in lane 0 for Tala, Ava Rock from New Ross in lane 1, Emily Hughes from Larne in lane 2, Alicia Dempsey from Lurgan in lane 3, Asha Mahanta from Sunday's Well Swimming Club in lane 4, Sarah Keane from Portmarnock in 5, Niamh Connery from Shark Swimming Club in lane 6, Juliette Byrne from Swan Leisure in 7, Emer Todd from Portadown in lane 8, and Isabel Mooney from the Shark Swimming Club in lane number 9. All these girls 13 or 14 years old. Time spans 1:10.55 to 1:17.05.
Yep.
Asha Mahanta, we've seen her so many times this week in the green hat in lane number 4. Very powerful swimmer. I'm not sure which is her best stroke, but we'll find out now if backstroke is one of her favourites.
Yeah, I think at this young age, I think it's great for all the swimmers to be involved in as many different strokes as possible. There's plenty of time in the later years to specialise, but what a great start there from Asha Mahanti. She looks like she has got such great technique here in this back roll. That head position is so still. She looks so relaxed, but is still pulling away from the field, and that's just a sign of a really good technical swimmer right there. She looks easy, but is still moving fast.
Good backstrokers look like they're almost sitting in the water. It's extraordinary. And she's going to reach the turn in a very good time of 34.81, but only marginally ahead of Ava Rock, who's only 3/10 behind, and Sarah Keane in lane 5 is in 3rd.
Yeah, she looks, Asha Mahanti here looks so good coming down this second 50. Definitely in control of this race, but Sarah Keane from Portmarnock is pushing her quite hard, and both these swimmers have lovely technique, looking quite relaxed in how they swam. I wish I ever looked like that when I swam backstroke, my weakest stroke, but it is Asha Mahanti who looks like she's going to get her hand on the wall first here with 5 metres to go.
Sarah Keane pushing her all the way, but it's Mahanta who touches first. Keane in second place, the margin 0.8 of a second. Alicia Dempsey in 3rd in lane 3, and Juliette Byrne in lane 7 is 4th. So that comes to the end of the girls 100 metres backstroke. Next up, it'll be the same event for the boys, the 100 metre backstroke. We've got 6 heats of that.
Yep, that was a really strong second 50 there by Sarah Keane, 36.5. She had the fastest split on that second 50, faster than Asha Mahanti. So she was charging all the way on that second 50, but Asha had done enough on the first 50 to win that race and get her hand on the wall first. But both of those girls, no, Sarah Keane is a 13-year-old swimmer, so they won't be in the same final tonight. So it was good for those two girls to get to race each other in this afternoon's heat session.
The girls just clearing the pool so that the first heat in the boys 100 backstroke can proceed. So let's just have a look at the swimmers in this first heat. Joshua Newman in lane 2 for Bangor. Jake Noon from Sligo Swimming Club in lane 3. Killian Banks from Shark in lane 4. Billy Anglem from Streamline Swimming Club in 5. And Rory Staunton from Trojan in lane number 6. And all of these at times of 1:19, all 13 years old. This will be close.
Yeah, as we saw a lot earlier in this morning session, when those entry times are really tight, you can get some really, really close races. But it does look like Jake Noon in lane 3 is taking this out really hard, but he's dragging Joshua Newman from Bangor out with him. So looks like it's a good race on this first 50.
Yeah, lanes 3 and 2 are ahead, and then it's lane number 5. Billy Anglem from Streamline Swimming Club in lane 5.
And it is Jake Noon from Sligo turning first in a 36.42 ahead of Joshua Newman 36.77 with Billy Anglem 36.88. All three swimmers swimming at 36 point on that first 50, so it's all to play for with 30 metres left to go on this 100 back.
Yeah, good race this. Fine stroke from Jake Noon.
And you can just see there with 25 to go, Jake Noon picked up his rate. He had that little bit of a pickup, that little bit of an increase in rate, and now he's pulling away from the two other guys in lane 3 and lane 5. So it is going to be Jake Noon who gets the touch in this 100 back roll heat. What is the time?
We don't have the time on the screen for some reason, but we will see it up on the board. Jake Noon 1:13.75. That's very good. 1:19.30 is his finishing time.
Yeah, so Jake Noon was first in a 1:13.75. And then we had Billy Anglem in a 1:15 in second place. So good strong swimming from both of those boys as we move into heat 2
of 6. And it's Conor Carroll from Kilkenny in lane 0, Ruben Power from Mallow Swans in lane 1, Mark Conroy from Ballina Dolphins in 2, Cameron Jackson from Coolmine in 3, Liam O'Driscoll from Sunday's Well Swimming Club in lane 4, and then 3 Dolphin swimmers in a row in lanes 5, 6 and 7. Ben Coleman, Tyg O'Brien and James McElroy. Droghada's Dylan Brady is in lane 8 and Lurgan's Oscar Black is in lane number 9.
So we have a full complement of swimmers in this heat 2 of 6 of the boys, 13 and 14-year-old back roll. We've got a 3-second spread here between 1:15 from Liam O'Driscoll in lane 4 out to 1:18 for Oscar Black from Lurgan. So let's see if these boys can go faster than their entry times.
And away they go. In lane number 4, Liam O'Driscoll was very quickly into his stroke, but he's a long way behind.
Yeah, he popped up really quick off the start, but he didn't utilise his underwaters like some of his competitors did here. And it looks like the swimmer in lane 3, Cameron Jackson from Coolmine, is driving hard down this first 50.
O'Driscoll starting to get his racing gear in action now, and he's pulled back up alongside in lane number 5, Ben Coleman. But the touch for Cameron Jackson in lane 3, 34.41, ahead of Tyg O'Brien in 6, Liam O'Driscoll in lane 4, and Ben Coleman in lane 5.
Yeah, it is Cameron Jackson from Coolmine who's leading, but it also, look out in lane 6.
Tyg O'Brien of Dolphin.
He's
pulled away.
Just pulled into the lead with 20 metres to go here.
Much slower stroke, but very effective leg kick.
Yeah, using that kick to drive him forward, but he does have that quite low rate, but he is the leader now with 5 metres to go, and looks like he's going to get the touch. What is the time going to be?
Lane 6, Tyg O'Brien gets it in 1:12.09. Ben Coleman in second in lane 5 with 1:13.03, just 2/10 ahead of James McElroy in lane 7. And in lane 4, Liam O'Driscoll, well, he never really got going, and he finished 4th.
That's a 5-second quicker time for Tyg O'Brien than his entry time. 1:17 down to 1:12. Really, really strong swim there, and he'll be looking to be in a final later this evening and see if he can go even faster.
Okay, on to heat number 3 of 6, and it's Danilo Prokhorov of Trojan in lane 0. Bjarni Loudon, his teammate, in lane 1. Ian Middleton from Glenalbin in lane 2. Alex Martin from Coolmine in 3. Ethan Noonan from Aer Lingus in 4. Alexander Hale from Swim Belfast in 5. Dovydas Petrauskas from Dungannon in lane 6. Dylan Gunn from Sundayswell in 7. Ben Kelly from Trojan in 8. And Matthew O'Grady from Sligo Swimming Club in lane number 9. Petrauskas. I think I got that right.
I think you did. It's good.
It's hard to get those foreign names sometimes. We saw Danilo Prokhorov earlier, and he's back in the water again on the near side in lane 0 for this backstroke.
Looks like lane 2 there. Swimmer from Glenalbin had the best start. Ian Middleton, who's just out of the water, that 400 freestyle, had a great 400 freestyle with that high tempo, and he looks like he's using that high tempo again here on this 100 back. Compared to the swimmers either side of him, he's really rating it, and he's pulling away from the field to this first 50.
They're all 13 and 14 year olds, but he looks so much older. He's just that much bigger, Ian Middleton, and he turns in 32.65. Nearly a couple of seconds advantage over Prokhorov, with Alex Martin in 3rd.
Yeah, almost 2 seconds ahead at the 50 mark, so he's in real control of this race. His rate has dropped down a little bit from the first 50, but he's definitely still in control as we swim with 25 metres to go.
Prokhorov is slipping back a little, but Ian Middleton powering forward to take this 3rd heat of 6. Prokhorov battling with Alex Martin from Coolmine in lane 3 for 2nd place, but there it is. It's Middleton with a 108.66, and he gets it ahead of Prokhorov, who gets 2nd in lane 0, with Matthew O'Grady finishing fast, 36.68. Matthew O'Grady up to 3rd ahead of Alex Martin and Dylan Gunn. That's
strong swimming there. All of those boys, the fastest entry time there was 1:14, and we had the top 8 of them swimming 1:13, so that's big improvements from all of those swimmers in that heat. So really strong swimming, but Ian Middleton led from the start. After a 400 freestyle, that's an impressive performance. Not very long in between those 2 races, so really strong swimming there from the Glenalbin swimmer.
So many of these swimmers are multi-talented, swim in so many different heats of so many different events. You just wonder where they get all that puff and all that stamina.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when I was younger, when I was maybe their age, I was able to multi-event a few different events in a session, but then by the time I was older, 1 swim, 2 swims in a day, that was as much as that was definitely enough for me at that stage.
This is heat 4 of 6. Quickly through them, it's Wilson in lane 0, Loudon in 1, Turner in 2, Murphy in 3, Mullen in 4, Biss in 5, O'Leary in 6, Hanley in 7, Pelliccioni in 8, and Duffy in 9.
Good underwaters there from the Temple Oaks swimmer, Andrew Mullen, another swimmer we've just seen in the water. A lot of these guys, as we were just talking about, are doubling up from that 400 freestyle, so really impressive to see. But it is Andrew Mullen who looks so technically good. He looked technically good in the 400 freestyle. He looks relaxed. Look at that steady head position. Again, good back roll, looks effortless, and Andrew Mullen looks like he's easing through this first 50.
I'm also interested to hear what you have to say about David O'Leary in lane number 6, because he's got a really high arm turn.
Yeah, looks like he's settled into it a bit more. He's got a bit of that bounce. You can see his head is almost going underwater on each of the strokes. So he's got a little bit of a bounce, almost a little bit of a fly kick as he's swimming through. Compare that to Andrew Mullen. His head position doesn't move at all as we're going through this 15 metres to go in this 100 backroll heat.
Well, Mullen's going to get another win from the Temple Oaks Swimming Club. 107.53 his season's best. Great race for 2nd place here. Mullen hits the wall in 107.09. In 2nd place, it's David O'Leary in lane 6 with a 36 split. Pelliccioni had a very good last 50, and Leon Biss just swum out of it into 4th, with Kel Loudon back in 5th.
That's some good strong performances from those boys there, and that was the first of the seeded heats of this afternoon session, so that was a strong performance across the board there.
Okay, here comes heat number 5. Scott Duda from Longford in lane 0, Luke Merrigan from Dolphin in lane 1, Matthias Pickett from Ards in lane 2, Killian Kavanagh from Aer Lingus is in lane 3, Paddy Cudahy from the Kilkenny Swimming Club in lane 4, Ben Bickerstaff, we've seen him a few minutes ago, from Lisburn City in lane 5. Francois Vivier from the Apex Sports Academy is in lane 6. Malachi Hitchcock from Swim Belfast in 7. Aaron Caskey from Larne is in lane 8. And George Pearson, I think that's the Severn Side Swimming Club in England.
Okay.
The SSTW, which I've went searching for the name of yesterday. Look at the start in lane 1. Look how high that boy is on the water.
Very high out of the water there, but he's got longer to get to into the water. He's pulling himself away from he wants to go forward, so he's pulling himself away from that. So it's a balance between getting height and still going in the direction you want to go.
It's young Luke Merrigan again from Dolphin. We saw him earlier today. He made a good start, but he's slipped back into the pack now, because out there in lane number 5, it's Ben Bickerstaff of Lisburn City who's leading them to the 50-metre mark.
Yeah, and as we said, these boys are doubling up from that 400 freestyle not long ago, and the 200 fly a few this summer, so really important that they're getting the recovery. But it is Ben Bickerstaff who is leading 250 in a 32.79 ahead of Paddy Cudahy from Kilkenny in a 33.34.
And Bickerstaff is pulling away. He's got a 2-metre lead now over Paddy Cudahy from Kilkenny.
Yeah, Ben Bickerstaff looking really good here. Got a nice turnover with his arms. Would like to see a little bit more of a kick, keeping those legs a little bit straighter as he's driving into this last 5 metres. But it is Ben Bickerstaff. He's going to win this heat in a 107.
Which is a couple of seconds faster than his lead-in time. Paddy Cudahy gets second in lane 4 with a 35.87, well ahead of Luke Merrigan. Killian Kavanagh in third, and Francois Vivier down in 5th. This is the final individual heat of this session. We have a couple of relays coming up after that, relay finals. But here we are, heat 6. Hubert Pitlone from Ealing is in lane 0. Oliver Gartley from Ards in lane 1. Cameron Haddo from Hamilton, Dubai in lane 2. Cathal O'Brien, New Ross in lane 3. Hussein Shawkey from Hamilton, Dubai, lovely swimmer, in lane 4. Ryan Griffin from Cookstown Swimming Club in lane 5. Wilder Daffy from Brompton Swimming Club in lane 6. Harry Dugan from Armagh in lane 7. Ignat Samuchov from Laois Marlins in lane 8. And Pierre Foster from Lurgan in lane 9. And I have to say, Wilder Daffy is a great name for a young boy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Wilder Daffy, Brompton Swimming Club, a very good name.
So here we go. The fastest in this heat is the 105.37 of Hussein Shawkey in lane number 4 in the orange hat. Shawkey, who has thrilled us with his swimming this week. Let's see how he goes here.
Yeah, he's already in the lead, but Ryan Griffin in lane 5 beside him had great underwaters, but it is, after 25 metres, it is Hussein Shawkey who's pulled ahead. Look at his rate compared to everybody else in this field. His turnover, he's getting that higher than everyone else in the field, and it's allowing him to just pull away as he approaches the 50-metre mark.
Did he go too... Did he tumble too soon there? It looked like he was feeling for the wall a bit soon.
Yeah, so these swimmers will know how many strokes it is. That's why we have the flags in, so they'll see the flags and they know they're 3, 4, 5 strokes, whatever it is, to the wall. So make sure they spot that and hit it right every time.
Shawkey is going to win this, but in second place there's a great battle going on between the man in lane 3, Cathal O'Brien, and the one in lane 5, Ryan Griffin.
Yeah, very close there for that silver second place in this heat between Griffin from Cookstown and O'Brien from New Ross, but it is
reaching
Shawkey
out to 103.41, 2 seconds faster than his best.
Very
in
impressive.
Second place it's Cathal O'Brien in lane 3 who gets it, and it's Ryan Griffin who came up into third in lane 5 with Wilder Daffy down in 4th. And that ends the heats in the men's boys backstroke.
Hussein came back in a 32 point right there, which is 4 seconds quicker than anyone else in that field, which is just shows his class in this event. What an impressive 14-year-old swimmer the Hamilton Aquatics Dubai have there in Hussein Shawkey.
So that's the backstroke completed for this session. And coming up next, we're going to have the 4x100 medley relay, which is a wonderful event for girls. It's going to take a while because they're going to have to just rearrange the pool and get the swimmers on deck, all 4 for each team. Can tell you the teams are Athlone in lane 1, Lisburn City in 2, Swan Leisure in 3, Dolphin in lane 4, Banbridge in lane 5, Coolmine in 6, Sundayswell Swimming Club in lane 7, and Glenalbin in lane 8. And we're going to see the same swimmers, some of them coming into the water for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's especially when you only have 2 age categories, the 13 and 14-year-olds. There's not as many swimmers in each of the heats, so they move through them very quickly. So if you're doubling up, you're going to have a busy session. Add a relay onto that, and it makes the recovery process, getting into the swim down pool in between races, after races, so important, so that they're as recovered as they can be and as ready to go every time they get into race.
So we've got 8 teams. And just to go through the individuals for Athlone, Sasha Coleman will be leading it off, followed by Jane Ryan, Emma Mooney and Emily Henson. In lane 2 for Lisburn City, it's Erin Fitzpatrick, Zara Hopkins, Emily Edgar and the anchor leg for Sinead McQuillan. For Swan Leisure, it's Alana Moran, Chloe Dawnay, Juliet Byrne and Amy O'Neill. For Dolphin, we've got Shauna Murphy, Lexi Dunn, Ellen Manson and Orna Higgins. Banbridge, lead off will be Tara Kennedy. Going second, Lauren Burns-Atkin. Mia Mulholland is third and Georgina Walker. Very strong team, that one. And Coolmine in 6, Teresa Nimirovska, followed by Rachel Giles, Mia O'Loughlin Brophy, Sive Nicanale, and then for Sundayswell, leading off is Carrie Harrington, and for Glenalbin it's Shufra Glynn. So away we go, the 4x100 medley relay.
And this is a heat declared winner event, and this is the only heat, so in effect this is the final for these relay teams. So the medals are up for grabs from this race right here.
So in lane 4 with a great start, it's Dolphin Shauna Murphy, and she's going to turn first. 34.76, but apart from her, the gaps are very, very small. She's got quite a lead.
Yeah, Shauna's about a second and a half ahead, but the rest of the teams right across the pool are in the lead. Shauna's got a body length lead for Dolphins, but between the rest of these teams there's hardly anything separate them, so this could be a really, really exciting field as we head into the breaststroke leg of this medley relay.
So Dolphin have the lead, but it's several teams, Swan Leisure, Banbridge, Coolmine and Sundayswell, who are all practically together. The turnover is always so exciting. And in they go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hardly a gap between them.
Yep.
Second is Lexi Dunn for Dolphin in lane 4.
And we've seen Lexi Dunn in the pool a lot already in this afternoon session, so it'll be interesting to see how fresh she is. She's got quite a high rate for 100 breaststroke already. She's got another 100 or 60 metres left to go at this stage, but she is rating it. The atmosphere is loud in here. In a relay you have to be really disciplined and stick to your guns and not get overexcited, so that's really important for all of these girls.
Well, a powerful swim there from Lexi Dunn. In second place in lane number 1 is Athlone, and in third it's Chloe Dawnay.
That was a
Swan Leisure.
Really powerful split from that lone swimmer right there. 36.44 was the fastest first 50 of this breaststroke split, but it is Lexi Dunn from Dolphins who are still out in the lead.
Lexi Dunn for Dolphin, and a great swim in lane number 1 by Jane Ryan to close the gap to a manageable proportion. We're approaching the halfway mark in this race. Still the butterfly and the freestyle to come. And it's Dolphin in first place. In second place, it's Athlone. In third place in lane 5, it's Banbridge. In fact, in lane 7, it's Sundayswell, just ahead of Banbridge in fourth.
So Ellen Manson from Dolphins is in the water, but it looks like that lone swimmer, Emma Mooney, is catching her a little bit already. And there's a real battle for that third place position right now between Sundayswell Swimming Club and the team in lane 5 from Banbridge.
250 to go, and it's Dolphin in the lead. with about a second advantage over Athlone in lane 1.
That's some really big
And
splits.
in third place in lane 7, Claire Custer.
Really big splits from the Sunday Wells and Banbridge swimmers. 33 points there, and
Look at Claire Custer. She's coming back in lane 7. What a leg she has swum.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. She's almost caught her. In fact, Custer is going to give lane 7, Sunday's Well, a lead going into the final swim. Aoife Gardner will be taking over from her for Athlone in lane 4. For Dolphin in lane 4, it'll be Orna Higgins. What a swim by Custer. That is extraordinary. Sunday's Well take the lead, 3:50.60. In second place in lane 4, it's Dolphin. And in third in lane 1, it's Athlone.
Claire Custer split there, outsplit both the Athlone and Dolphin swimmers by 6, 7, 8 seconds. That's where that big shift in the lead came. But it's Sunday Well Swimming Club in lane 7 in the lead right now, with Aoife Gardner ahead of the Dolphin swimmer Orna Higgins, followed by Athlone. But there's Athlone are under pressure from Banbridge in lane 5.
Aoife Gardner in the lead by 3 seconds over Orna Higgins of Dolphin. Athlone in third, but what a swim by the Sunday's Well team. They've got it just right. Of course, they had Custer. You might say this was Custer's last stand, but I don't think this will be Custer's last race.
No.
And it's Sunday's Well who are powering away to win this 4x100 medley relay in lane number 7. What a race. Carrie Harrington, Asha Mahatna, Claire Custer and Aoife Gardner, 4:56.23. In second, it's lane 4, Dolphin. Orna Higgins bringing them home in the silver position. And in third place, Banbridge managed to come back and get Georgina Walker a bronze medal for them.
That big 33-0 split on that second 50 for the Banbridge swimmer. Georgina Walker was 3 seconds quicker than the Athlone swimmer, and that was the difference there in getting them into that bronze medal position in the 13 and 14-year-old medley relay. And what an atmosphere. You just sense the excitement. I'm getting excited just standing here with the crowd and that. What a great race. And Claire Custer really put the team on her back on that fly leg, and we already saw her in the 200 fly earlier on. So a really, really strong performance in this session from her and that Sunday Well Swimming Club relay team.
This is the final event of this afternoon session, and it's the 4x200 metre freestyle relay. 5 teams, straight final this. It's Swim Belfast in lane 2, Sligo in lane 3, Dolphin in lane 4, Aer Lingus in lane 5, and Sunday's Well in lane 6. Now, we don't have the names of the swimmers for Swim Belfast, but they'll come up on the board as they come into the water, so we'll try and keep up with that. For Sligo, it's Matthew O'Grady, Jake Noon, Garode Toohey and Noah Newell. In lane 4 for Dolphin, it'll be James McElroy, Donica Lean, Ben Coleman and Luke Merrigan. Luke Merrigan again. In lane 5 for Aer Lingus, it's Killian Kavanagh, Ethan Noonan, Daniel Egan and Quaylam Turner. And for Sunday's Well, I wonder, can they do the double?
I wouldn't bet against them.
Vincent Kopczynski, Dylan Gunn, Thomas Bugler and David O'Leary. Away go the girls and in come the boys.
A lot of the same teams here, as you mentioned. You got Sunday's Well Swimming Club, but you also have Dolphin in there. Aer Lingus will be strong, and then you got Sligo and Swim Belfast will be in the mix as well. Got 5 teams in this boys 13 to 14 4x200 metres freestyle relay.
Slightly longer race, much longer race than the individual medley, and of course everybody on the same stroke freestyle. So away we go. Just to remind you, Swim Belfast in lane 2, Sligo in lane 3, Dolphin in lane 4, Aer Lingus in lane 5, and Sunday's Well with the green hat in lane number 6.
Strong start from an Aer Lingus swimmer right there. He had a really good dive, used his underwater and was ahead, but looks like he's settled into his stroke right now, which if you look across the 5 swimmers, he has got the longest stroke right now. So he's maybe conserving energy, but it's going to be the Sunday Well swimmer who touches first.
Yeah, Sunday's Well with a narrow advantage with Vincent Kopczynski. And themselves and Aer Lingus, Killian Kavanagh, very close. Don't forget, it's 200 metres per swimmer, so these two have a fair bit to go. Good battle going on for the bronze medal between the other 3 teams. Dolphin in lane 4, Sligo in lane 3 and Swim Belfast in lane number 2.
And it looks like it's going to be the Sunday Wells swimmer. He's going to turn in first, just ahead of the Aer Lingus. Right there, 106.82 to 107.24. But it's so important, even more so in a 4x2 freestyle relay than a medley relay. You have to make sure to stick to your pacing, especially for the second, third and fourth swimmers. They're going in and the field is all broken up, the swimmers all over the place, and you're really tempted to either try and catch someone or to try and pull away from someone, but you still have to stick to your guns, your technical, your tactical race to get the best out of yourself, whether that's going out hard or saving that bit of energy for the second part of the race.
So 50 metres to go for these swimmers as they turn. Kopczynski, the narrow advantage, it's a half a second over Kavanagh.
Yeah, and Kopczynski really has picked up his rate now into this last 50. He's working quite hard with 25 metres to go, whereas the Aer Lingus swimmer, Kavanagh, still looks quite long, looks quite efficient, but it is Kopczynski who looks like he's going to give the lead to Sunday Wells, going to give the lead to his teammate, Dylan Gunn.
Could be a green hat day for Sunday's Well if they could pull off the double here. They're going to turn in first place, and it's Kopczynski handing over to Dylan Gunn, Killian Kavanagh handing over to Ethan Noonan of Aer Lingus.
Nice safe takeovers there from Sunday Wells and Aer Lingus, so both their second legs are safely into the water. We've got Dylan Gunn for Sunday's Wells, and we've got Ethan Noonan for Aer Lingus. These two swimmers will know exactly where they are and what they need to do, but as I said, sticking to their own 200 freestyle game plan is so important in a relay. Not to get excited in the event and not to get carried away. Stick to your guns and trust that it'll work out in the end.
Donna Killeen has pulled away in third place, the bronze medal position in lane 4 for Dolphin. We saw him just a few minutes ago, and he's back in the water and closing the gap on the leading two.
He is closing the gap, and he's closing it quickly. So if he can keep this up, we could have a different leader come the third leg. But it still is Sunday Wells Swimming Club leading as they approach the halfway point of this second leg.
300 of the 800 have been swum, and it's Sunday's Well still ahead, but there's nothing in it, less than a second, just over a second between all three.
Yeah, but these two guys for Dolphin and Aer Lingus are outsplitting the Sunday's Well swimmer by 3 and 4 seconds respectively. It is Donna Killeen, who we saw earlier on in this 400 metres freestyle, is powering through this the second leg of this 4x2 relay, and it looks like he's going to give the lead to the Dolphin Swimming Club at the halfway point.
Dylan Gunn has tied up a bit for Sunday's Well. He's back down to a distant third. The battle now in the two fast lanes. In lane 4 it's Dolphin and Donna Killeen against Ethan Noonan of Aer Lingus, and they're neck and neck as they come to the halfway point of the race. 2 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, Ethan Noonan from Aer Lingus is really fighting back on this last 50. Dylan used so much energy to get back up into that lead, but now Ethan Noonan is just pulling away and going to give Aer Lingus the lead, but there's nothing in it as the third swimmers dive in.
It's Ethan Noonan for Aer Lingus who hands over in a lead of just 33 hundredths after 400 metres.
So we have Ben Coleman in the water for Dolphin Swimming Club. You have Daniel Egan for Aer Lingus. You have Thomas Bulger for Sunday's Well. So they're the top 3, and that looks like where the medals are going to, because it'll take a big shift for either Sligo or Swim Belfast to overhaul these top three teams with less than half of this race to go.
1/100th of a second the split at the end of that first 50 of this third leg.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a really good race as we've got coming up to a halfway point for these third swimmers.
In lane 4, breathing right and left. They're both exactly aware of what's going on around them. Very slight lead pulled out there by Dolphin Ben Coleman in lane number 4, but he's still got 100 more to go.
Looks like Ben Coleman could have turned a little bit earlier there. He almost swam into the wall, and that's why Aer Lingus swimmer Daniel Egan has just taken the lead. This is going to be a tight race with 300 meters to go.
The Aer Lingus swimmer just looks slightly more relaxed.
Every time Daniel's breathing, he's lifting his head a little bit, which is just creating a little bit more resistance, where you can see that the Aer Lingus swimmer there, Ben Coleman. Ben Coleman's the dolphin swimmer. Every time he breathes, he lifts his head a little bit, which creates a little bit of resistance and slows him down, whereas Daniel Egan of Aer Lingus is keeping that nice low head position, allowing him to power through every time he breathes.
Thomas Bugler of Sunday's Well is trying his best to come back, but as we come to the end of the third leg and they're going to hand over to the anchor, it's looking good for Aer Lingus. Dolphin in second, Sunday's Well in third. Into the pool for Aer Lingus is Quaylam Turner. In second place in lane 4 for Dolphin, it's Luke Merrigan, and for Sunday's Well, David O'Leary.
Both of these two top swimmers look like they're going for it down this first 50. Luke Merrigan's rate is really high for Dolphins right there, but so is Quaylam Turner's from Aer Lingus. So this could go down to the wire, but Aer Lingus have the lead with 150 metres to go.
It's down to my memory, but I'm pretty sure I saw Luke Merrigan swimming out 1,500 metres yesterday.
Okay.
And he was really good, a fabulous technique,
yeah,
and great stamina. In a 400, 4x200, he has to really sprint if he's to catch up.
Yeah,
He's
if he's
doing pretty
coming
well
from a 1500 background, there's a good chance that he won't die. And it looks like he's slightly closing the gap here, but I don't know. There's still quite a body length or more with 100 metres to go here. So Aer Lingus definitely in control, but Dolphin not out of it just yet.
Turner with 100 to go, turns in 59.75. Merrigan 2.5 seconds back. It'll be a huge amount to turn over in 100 metres of swimming, but you never know.
You never know, but with 75 metres to go, it looks like this is Aer Lingus' race to lose. But a really, really gutsy performance from the Dolphin team here in second place. Luke Merrigan is not
pushing, isn't he?
Absolutely, he's not giving an inch at all. With 50 metres to go, there is
final turn, so important, and it looks like the Dolphin swimmer, or it looks like the Aer Lingus swimmer, Quaylam Turner, has done enough now. Merrigan has shot his bolt, and Aer Lingus are going to pull away and get the gold medal here.
Yeah, it looks like the team of Aer Lingus, the team that's made up of Cillian Kavanagh, Ethan Noonan, Daniel Egan and Quaylam Turner, are going to win the gold medal in this 4x200 freestyle relay.
Tremendous performance by Aer Lingus. Cillian Kavanagh, Ethan Noonan, Daniel Egan and Quaylam Turner touches for the gold medal. And in second place for Dolphin, Luke Merrigan. Himself, Ben Coleman, Donna Colleen and James McElroy get the silvers. For Sunday's Well, it's David O'Leary bringing them home. Kopczynski, Gunn, Bugler and O'Leary getting the bronze medals. And the rest have yet to finish.
You can see the Aer Lingus swimmers celebrating there, so they're obviously chuffed to win that race, to get that gold medal. Being part of a relay and winning a medal at these Irish Summer Championships is such a great feeling. I was lucky enough to do it when I was younger, and I still remember it to this day, so this is something that they'll remember.
Team sport, there's no I in team.
Absolutely.
In fourth place in lane number 2 was Sligo, and coming in lane, that was Swim Belfast, and it's Sligo who are going to bring up the rear. Well, that time of 9:10:20, very respectable time, but most importantly, gold medals for the team from Aer Lingus. And that wraps up the programme for this middle session of these National Summer Championships. 2 down today and 1 to go. The finals coming up around 5 o'clock. I hope you'll be able to join us then. Anything to take away from this afternoon's event, Nick?
No, it's just great to see, especially these younger swimmers in this afternoon session, to be in this environment, to be able to race against some of the senior swimmers. We've seen some of the senior swimmers who are heading to European Championships, who are heading to Commonwealth Games. So the opportunity for these 13-year-olds, these 14-year-olds to be in the pool, to see those senior athletes, see how they act, see how they warm up, and then see them racing is just great. Something that we've not had for years, and they're going to be in the finals tonight. getting that experience in such a good atmosphere. So good environment and good atmosphere. So really looking forward to some more fast swimming in a couple of hours.
Yeah, we'll be back at 5 o'clock. From me, Stephen Alkin, and from you, Nick Quinn. Many thanks for listening. I hope you'll join us again at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then.